Oh, hello there. Nonsanity here. I was just standing on this office chair, hanging a mirror. Welcome to episode 15, I think, of the Primus Daybreaker series. I'm having a little fun this episode. Let's go prank someone. You know, the robotic uprising doesn't last very long when batteries are not included, and I hadn't yet built a charging device. Yes, Mr. Adventure Core here is now quite happy to work for me after a little bit of electronic blackmail. Isn't that right, Mr. Adventure Core? Yes, file not found. I have been doing some little fun things. As you can see, I've got the office chair here. I think it looks pretty good. Simple design, but it looks like what it's supposed to be. This is a 3D print. OpenComputers can do... I put the mirror over here next to the evidence locker, so if anybody comes here looking at the evidence locker, they can see what they can look at themselves and think about what they've done. We'll come back to that. But let's go in here. I have, and you can get the chair bottom at this paste bin, lowercase c, 7, capital U, lower j, capital Z, M, N, J. And let's go ahead and put the top part of the chair on paste bin as well. Send that up. Lowercase u, uppercase UV, lowercase y, uppercase UVLE 18U. So only the first y is lowercase. Everything else is uppercase. So you can grab those if you want. And all you have to do is print 3D chair bottom. And that sends it to the 3D printer over here. And you can see it's in there. There it is. You have to give it some sort of dye. I just picked one at random. And chameleon, which is fairly easy to make. Recipe is redstone charcoal, not coal, charcoal, gravel and water, and that gives you 16. I just filled it up. Yeah, here I just printed the bottom half of the office chair, and now I can tell it to print the top half. There we go. Grab it out and just stick it on top. And I've designed them to fit together. Pretty nice. I might retexture it. I was just picking some vanilla textures to get started, but you can use other textures. In fact, to get another texture for purposes, there is a tool, this guy, the texture picker, which once you've got it, you can click on something and it tells you this floor is ztones :set/mint/mint _ space parentheses 0 close parenthesis. Bit of a mouthful, but it's exact. Ceiling ztones sets lave 12. The top of this thing is RF Tools machine top. And that one is RF Tools Machine Remote Storage. It's very clear in what everything is. Mechanism, osmium compressor, front, it wrapped. So you can grab those, and then you just have to edit. Oops. Chair bottom. This is my office chair, and this is the name it'll have as the label. And there's this list of shapes with bunch of coordinates and then the texture that it's using. Now this can be a little bit difficult to figure out without and then having to print each time to see if it worked. That's sort of hard. There is an easier way, and we'll switch over here to a browser window. Somebody by the name of F0x06, was it? I'm going to call him Kevin. Kevin made this thing, which is quite nice. It's a Java, it's just a web browser, so it works all in JavaScript, I think. And it lets you preview what you're making. So as I change things, let's make this 2. There, I just made that bar thicker. And go back to 7. So each one of these lines is one of the cubes that makes up this thing. Like the seat is a rectangle with 2 more rectangles that are slightly smaller on either end. And then I've got there's a red box around things. You can see there, just sort of barely see that red triangle, the red square with the diagonal across it, making the bulk of the seat. Next line is that one over on the side there. Next line is that one. Next line is the pole in the back. It doesn't go all the way down because below it is the horizontal. That doesn't go all the way to the seat because then there's a vertical that goes down. I think it does go down in here, but then all of these cross. The horizontal there, and then each of the 4 caster wheels is another line. Now you can make things half as thick as this. So if I wanted to make the seat thinner, the first set of numbers are the lower bounds for the width, height, and depth, and the second set are the upper bounds. So this is 2 to 14. That's probably this distance. And 0 to 14, really? Okay, no, 0 to 14 is front to back. So top to bottom of the screen is 0 to 14. So that's the 3rd and 6th number. The 1st and 4th number are the width, because it goes 2 to 14. There's 16 spaces. So 2 is 2 in, so right here, to 14, and then 15, 16 would take you to the far edge. But I have it from 8 to 10, so if I change that to 8 to 9, there, you can see it's gone thinner. Now there's a little bit of a flicker there. That means the vertical, this guy, I didn't know that. You click on the part, it'll highlight the line. I want that a little shorter, so make that 8. There we go. So now it just touches the bottom, it doesn't stick up through it. And if I make these similarly narrower, thinner, there, now we've got a thinner seat. Well, I think the thicker seat looks better. But yeah, you can sort of adjust things that way. You can't, unfortunately, manipulate them in the 3D, as far as I can tell. Everything I've tried is just moved things. But, you know, it's a whole lot better than doing it blind and having to keep printing to see if you got it right. But yeah, you could do quite a lot with this. There's more than just the shapes with the name. If you bring up this example 3D here, I guess I have to switch to something else and then switch back. There we go. So you get the label, you get a tooltip when you're hovering over it. It can emit light. It can emit redstone. It can act like a button with 2 different states, a pushed and a not pushed, and it'll actually completely change its appearance. It's basically 2 separate models, and it'll switch between them whether it's pushed or not. You can make it collidable or not, and then you can define all the shapes. And by adding the state, you define which state that shape belongs to. And you can also tint things, so if you don't like the color, you can change it. Though remember, that's a tinting, so it's just going to add the color into what's already there. Unless you're starting with pure white, you're not going to get exactly the color that you're entering here in hex. But this is a very nice feature, and it's fairly simple to do. It's not that difficult, especially with this tool, making it easier to make the shapes. You can see some of the sample things they've got here. It's just a slab, stairs, just examples. A different sort of torch. I don't like the way that texture is sort of transparent there. A trapdoor. This one is not... Okay, this one is set up to be toggleable. I wonder if there's some way to see the second state. Oh yeah, here we go. Toggle state. There we go. So you can see the two different positions it can be in. Tree. Just a little tiny tree. Everything does have to fit into one block. But, like my office chair, there's no reason why you can't make multiple pieces and assemble them together. A villager. Okay, sort of a villager. Needs the nose to really sell it. One of the desert wells. This is the sample button they come with, and when you click it, it goes to frowny face. Familiar to anybody? Cover. And of course, you can print out diamond blocks that aren't real diamond, but look like it. The only difference is in the tooltips for when you place something. As you can see, it says OpenComputers. So you can't completely spoof something, because it's going to say OpenComputers if you've got Wayla installed. But I think there's a lot of possibilities with this. And I plan on using office chairs up here when I redecorate this room. When I finally move out of it. I've been slow doing that. But redecorate it to be the lobby for the factory. And still do something. There's a couple suggestions, like a giant skull, but that's not me. Now, I definitely want a building. The problem is just the landscape here doesn't lend itself well to, say, a building with a parking lot, which I really want. So once I get going in Galacticraft, I want to get a moon buggy and have a bunch of moon buggies parked in the parking lot. Speaking of, well, there's something else you can do with this mod. Let's go ahead and craft it here. Let's actually figure out what we need to craft it. OpenComputers. Where is... There we go. Hologram projector. There's a tier 1 and a tier 2. I'm going to go straight to tier 2. So we need... okay, that. Alright, grab the stuff. Need some diamonds, need some redstone, need some transistors. What else was there? Blaze, obsidian, and the printed circuit boards. Alright, let's see if we can got enough to go from here. I need 1 diamond block. 2 of these. And, oh, a glass. I did forget something. There we go. Hologram. And I can put away this tool there. I've got a little bit of ComputerCraft cable coming off the back. This only connects to the bottom. So either you put it directly on top of a computer or attach it with some cable. But this little thing has no GUI. It's controlled by the computer. And you want to make a file for it. And the only way I've found so far to do that, let's get out of this, is to install a program called 3D Edit. Well, you can call it whatever you want. I called it 3D Edit after I downloaded it. 3D Edit. Here we go. This is the hologram editor. It's not super simple to work with, which is to be expected. I mean, we are doing it here inside OpenComputer. But you can see here it's got this layer, and there are 16, I think, layers. No, there's more than that. How many layers does it have? 32 layers. Can I hold down? No, of course not. Well, I can clear it. Well, so there's 32 layers. Let's just go to 16, so it's right in the middle. There we go. And go to front. So we've got a volume of space that we can work with. We can look down from the top, and it's a big square space. We can look from the side. It's not as high as it is wide, or from the front. We've got 3 colors, and black in this case is just erase. And you can change these colors. So 128. And you hit return. There we go, a little darker red. And then you can draw out here. Now this is creating voxels, sort of like the office chair is built out of, little tiny cubes. Though the office chair, you can stretch the cubes out to be larger than just a small single spot. Same with, well, this is different. This is just you're drawing those individual spots in there in the 3 different colors. Actually, let's erase this with the right click. Let's go to the side. Now, why can't I see that? Top. From the front. If I go to the side, I should see it, but I'm not seeing it. I guess I'm not really exactly in the center. Whoops. Let's move that a bit more over to the center. See if that makes a different side. Alright, well this isn't working exactly the way I would have thought. Well, let's just go to the side and make a box around where I thought it would be. Yeah. And let's click down here and give it a name. This is box test. Hit return. Hit save. File is saved. Alright, let's exit. I've also gotten a program called show, and I'm going to show box test and hit return. If we come out here, it is garbage. Yeah, that's not working right. Let's I never said this was perfect. Let's go back into 3D edit. Let's not change the color. I was having some troubles with the color. Let's go back to 16. Do some of this again and see what might have gone wrong. Still not seeing the shape that I'm expecting. I did not get as lucky with the box this time. Front, side, okay. Box 2. Return, save. Load. Yeah, it scrambles it. Huh. And the color has changed too. I think there's a file problem. Let's try something different. Let's give it a name first. Box 3. Save. Load with nothing in it. Yeah, look, there's stuff here, and the color's changed. Refresh. Save. Save that. Exit. Show box 3. Show box 3D. Doesn't like it. Alright, well, I had some success with it before. Basically, it'll create a ghostly image. And since this isn't working, I'll show you what did work. I've got one in here. Show ghost. There's the ghost. It does have these two little extra pixels. But there he is. Isn't he cute? The nice thing about him, or the nice thing about the holograms and the 3D printing is that they're working in the same coordinate spaces. So if I do a print 3D ghost 3DM, which is a different file, these are not the same files. There's my ghost. And let me grab some support material just to place him properly. Oh, here. So he's right up against the block there. Now I got this printed one. And there we go. It perfectly matches. So I've got a physical ghost there. I call him the faux ghost. And if you break him, you get a ghost of a ghost that you can't break. This was my concept for a prank. Let's head over to Mr. Dr. RageHard's place. Because here in his base, he's got his little robot, Brink. But now he also has a friendly little ghost sitting here. And if he breaks him, now he has a little ghost that he can't break. So that's my prank. The holographic projector is hidden somewhere else around here so that it's not immediately obvious where this is coming from. So it's a nice, subtle little prank. So that, oh, look, I can clean that up. Oh, now I can't clean it up. So I'm looking forward to his reaction for that. I finally found a prank that was subtle enough for me. And I got office chairs. I like the office chairs. So yeah, with the hologram, okay, it's not perfect, but the 3D printing has been working great. Unfortunately, you can't edit the 3D hologram files. Excuse me. Edit box 3. It's not text, it's binary. As you can see, it's displaying all the nulls in the file. Don't save that. I don't know what that would do. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, as for getting all these programs, they're not built in. So let me see if I can walk you through getting that stuff again. The first thing you want to do is you want to make one of these, the interweb. It's string around an ender pearl, and you get the interweb. Craft that with a blank disk, and I did find the blank disk here. It's not down with all the rest. Make a blank floppy disk, craft it with the interweb, and you get this, this one, the teal-colored one. This is the OPPM program. Once you have that in there, and I've got one on me, there it is. So pop that in. And once you boot up with that, you do OPPM install OPPM. And it'll read it off the disk and install it, which I already have it installed, so it notices that. Now OPPM is a Open Programs Package Manager. That's what it stands for. It'll basically, there's a whole bunch of programs out there. Oh, I forgot the S. There we go. All these sites that it's listing here have programs on them. Probably some of them just have one or two, some of them have lots, but here they all are. I don't know, I couldn't tell you what most of them do. It's a bunch of holo demos. Maybe let's get that. So I'll use that for the test. So let's OPPM get holo demos. Return. No, install, not get. Install holodemos. It's getting all the stuff it needs. Okay. It also installed libnoise. So what we got here? I guess it's going to be in user. So ls user. No, I don't know where it's going to put it. Well, we should have it. Holo count, holo flow, holo text. Let's do holo text. No primary holo. Well, yeah, I have to put it back out there. There we go. Holo text. No text specifies. Using default value OpenComputers. Oh, that's not text. That is landscape. Pretty cool. Not what I was expecting. It also is non-responsive. And nothing I'm doing... Oop! Talk about non-responsive. I completely lost it. Is the server doing okay? Maybe not. Alright, let me look into this, and I'll be back in a bit. Well, I don't recommend running that program. Notice my holographic projector is gone. Basically, whatever that program does tied up the CPU so heavily that it was running at a snail's pace, wasn't fast enough to talk to me, and didn't save out any of the changes. I had to do a hard reset on the server. So, but my player inventory was saved to disk, so the fact that I don't have the holo projector is because I placed it in the world, but the world didn't get saved, so now it's completely gone. Just as well, the holograms weren't working that smoothly, I'd say. So, let's see, what were we doing? Yeah, we were playing with the holos. The OPPM list has a whole bunch of programs. I think obviously just downloading random ones and trying them out, probably not a good idea. Do your Google searches to find out what you want to install. Another way you may want to get programs on here is from pastebin. I do pastebin get and then put in the pastebin string like the ones I read out for the office chair. And you put in that string and then the name of the file that you want to save it to. If you're downloading something to a Lua file, you do that. Of course, that's not going to work because that doesn't exist. So, and I also forgot the E in pastebin. Another way is wget. I'm not sure if that was, I had to install that or not. That may have been an OPPM install wget. Is that what I did? We'll find out in a moment if it says it's already installed. Package does not exist. No, that's not where I got it. I guess it's already built in. But wget lets you get any web address, any URL. You actually pass it the URL. So if you've got a text file on the web somewhere that you want to get into here, that's the way to import it. So wget, pastebin, and OPPM are the three main ways to import files into your computer. See, I can think of lots of things to do with this. Gotta find a good texture for the seat. Maybe some sort of fabric-y texture. Not necessarily the standard vanilla wool, but maybe something else that's similar. A little bit less obvious. So let's go down and see what else is going on around here. How are we doing? Ooh, nice. I got enough to upgrade again. Let's see. 32. Stack and a half of those. I think this is just enough for my purposes. So let's do it like that. And I want to get my builder's wand. Oops. Builder's wand. This thing has already gotten bigger. So what are we at? 3, 6, and 8. So it's 8 by 8 cube. And it's 18 tall. Which gives us 117 trillion RF storage. Oh yeah, the other night, things went horribly wrong. I had this set up to a, I don't know, I'm climbing the ladder, I can fly. I had this set up to 9. It's back to 9 now, but 9 turned out to be too fast. This thing was keeping up fine, but the stuff in the desert here was not able to keep up. The brine is. This is enough brine for 9. I think it's exactly enough for 10 as well. But I had to add a bunch more of these. Probably I added, again, more than I needed. But a lot of them were empty. And still, a bunch of them still are empty. I think it's just the way they work. Causes some of them to be empty and some of them to be full. I don't know. If they're all emptying, somewhere around here, one of these will be filling up, hopefully. Either that or 9 is still too fast. Or that one is full. Full. Probably all the rest in this chain are full. Yep. So maybe some of the ones over here are filling. There we go. Is it going up or down? Alright, see, it's going up. I think that that means eventually they're all going to fill up. That one's filling up. Those are staying low. That one's filling up. So a bunch of them are in the process of filling up. A lot of them are, actually. So I think we've got enough for 9. Oops, didn't mean to fall off. We'll find out. I can always add more. They're actually not that expensive. I mean, now that I've got the plastic, I can build as many as I need to. I can make plenty of these, plenty of these, plenty. My factory is making these and these. And the bronze is not that hard to make. I use the Tinker's recipe. The alloy blend. And this is still going up. It's up to 7 million millibuckets, so 7,000 buckets. When it was at 1,500. Yes. And I added 2 more of these to make sure they weren't the backlog. And they seem to always be completely full. which means it's something downstream from... If there's a bottleneck, it's downstream, which would probably be these things. But this line is always full, and that line is always full. The only concern I have is that so many of them these are empty. But the fact that a bunch of them are filling up, once they fill up, then I think more of the empty ones will fill up. So I think we have a positive pressure going on here. And everything should work fine. And yes, these are all chunk loaded. I made sure this thing was set to 3 now. Oh, E2 is still big enough. So everything is within the boundaries of that 2 chunk radius. Those lasers are handy. Back we go. I face this way because that makes me facing forward here in the receiver. And this is perfectly fine at keeping up, as is this. I still haven't hit this thing's limit. So power continues to increase, but now we can increase the size of the battery. So let's do that now. Oop. Well, I gotta... I don't know if you can hear that, but there is another node down here. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I don't think I spent enough time down here to actually notice it. But there is, right down in here, down here. Oh, look, we got frost corruption. This must be a cold node. Let's see if we can get our tool out so we can see it. There we go. So yet another node. I could take it upstairs and combine it, should I? Yeah, might as well, just to keep it from being noisy here. Is this where I was going up? Yeah. Drag it through the battery. Where's the gap? Come on. Follow me. The Pied Piper of Hawana. We haven't been to Hawana yet. I still haven't found a good way to get the wind relations. Oops, I'm getting caught up in my system. Come on. That looks wrong. Am I here? I'm here. In we go. Now, it should merge up with the one I've got in there, and it should make it bigger again. Oh, go that way. Go away from me. There we go. Push if you crouch. Come on, crouch. Go. And it should merge. Poof! There we go. It got a little bit bigger. Let's see what our temperature, our balance is like now. Okay, it just says, oh, look at that. It's almost perfectly balanced now. It's right at 1. All right, well, that's pretty good. Just a little bit on the chaos side still. It's also slightly smaller than it was, but that's okay. It doesn't seem to make any difference to its power holding capacity. As long as there's one in there, it works. So what was I doing? Oh, yes, I was digging. I can put this thing away and switch back to this. Let me dig this real quick, and we'll just fast forward. Alright, we've dug that out. This will be where the new border extends. And now we just have to interrupt our power storage. This won't break anything and we won't lose any power. Well, we'll lose what power is generated while I'm taking this apart. Because nothing can come in here while it's disassembled like this. But what's currently stored in it will stay stored in it. Take down this wall. One more row. That was too much. Alright, now is when the builder's wand is great, because I can just fill in all the new blocks. Make sure you don't miss a spot. That looks complete. And now fill in the wall. Are there red sparkles? I didn't see. Oh, nope, we're missing the corner here. There are the red sparkles. All right. Let's find out how much that can now store. This is going to be broken. Doesn't like it. It actually shuts the computer off for some reason. 137 trillion RF it can hold. So I'm back down to less than 10% again. I seem to be adding storage about 10% faster than I can fill it, so it's keeping me at the same percentage. Is that right? Yeah, it's, you know what I mean. So I'll get up to 10% tomorrow and then assemble a new section to it. Now I just need like 2 more of those. And down to 3. Oops. Got the wrong ones. Fill this in. And I've just taken off all the decoration on the bottom and on the sides because it's annoying to have to replace all the time. Because this thing is constantly growing. And let's get some of the transparent, these guys. And my Silk Touch drill. Because for some reason these have to be silk touched. So what does this say for statistics? We've got 672 cells total in an 8 by 18 by 9 structure. Very nice. It holds 343 terajoules and currently holds 4. No, that's the output. It currently holds 32 terajoules. I think, yeah. The max output is 4 megajoules, and we're still only using kilojoules. It's barely even registering down here. Now that I'm not running any of these really expensive guys. This one that does 65,000 RF a tick, 12,000, 20,000. The only one I'm running right now is a mining age that I made, and that only costs 12 RF a tick. It's really, really cheap. It's just a place to go to get basic components, tin, copper, things that I can't create out of EMC. Put stuff away here. I've got only 1 induction casing left. I'll have to make more next time I expand. And I think I'm just going to throw away the extra ghost and stuff. So yeah, this is getting bigger and bigger. And my Aurora Cascade I tore out, and I'll put that somewhere else if I want to do anything more with that mod. It was fun while it lasted. We've got that balanced. I made a food processor. Not just because I found out you can take the clams and turn them into clam dust, which can be used for any white. They can be used in place of bone meal. Still no princess clam. Supposedly it's just a random occurrence, but you know, I've been doing this thing for days now, and I have not gotten any princess clams. Thinking maybe I should try and automate it. I could probably get a robot to automate it for me. And just grind up the clams for bone meal. Not that I don't have plenty of bones and can get more, but throw away the ghost. And I'll just recycle all this. Alright, well, I don't know what else to do for this episode. It was just sort of setting up the prank and playing a little bit with the 3D printing. And some of the hologram didn't last too long. I'm curious what else you guys would like to... let's see, look at my board over here. I don't know if I ever showed this to you, but this was like... I had things in here that I wanted to mess with. Some of them I've erased because I've finished. Engineer's Toolbox. Probably do something with that eventually. Work on the mob farm. I'm only not doing anything with that, but can make a bigger mob farm. Do some more Clockwork Phase. Silico is a mod I haven't even touched, but it looks like it can do a lot of interesting things. Matter Overdrive. Had some trouble with the phaser crashing, but might look more into that. We did find a... Let's head out that way while I talk. We did find what I think is a singularity, like a black hole for the Matter Overdrive mod. Brink was running a quarry. I think it's in this direction. Is this where his quarry was? Yes, so out this way. Cross this river. Yeah, you can see the strip of dirt. Is it still running? Can't tell. He did have it going all the way across to the other side of this river. As you can see that there's a line through the clay down there. But it was getting stuck right here. Now if I'm not moving, you see I'm getting pulled in. You can see the particle effects. There is a gravitational source here. And it is pulling me in. But it doesn't seem to do any damage. And we land. I placed all this stone here. See, it's pulling me into the middle. And I cannot walk away. I can fly away. Or I used to be able to fly away. Alright. Now I can fly away, right? What's going on here? Oh, I was crouched. I used caps lock as crouch. That was the problem. See, I can fly away no problem. But it seems to be... Is it there or here? Looks like it's right there. So I'll just put these back out just to mark it. Supposedly, if that is the singularity from Matter Overdrive, you can make a sort of like a reactor to generate power from it. I tried this out before, and I wasn't too impressed by the level of power it puts out. I mean, compared to the fusion reactor, it's pretty much nothing. Here, it's dragging me in. But this seems to be a baby one. I can't see it, and it doesn't really generate that much suction. It definitely isn't harming me. This looks like it's trying to pull the squid, but as long as they're down a level, they're going to get stuck by that wall there. Now, I thought you could feed these things, but I was dropping stuff into it, and it wasn't eating. So you can see it. You drop things in there, it's not eating it. My magnet's picking it up, but even if my magnet wasn't on, it doesn't get eaten. So I don't know what much to do about that. Might be fun to give it a try, but I'll just pop back home. But I don't really need it. That's the problem with some of the mods. I just don't really need it. Like apple milk and tea. I can maybe make some of the food. just to give it a try. I don't need it. Blue power. Do some more with blue power. That'd be nice. Router Reborn. I haven't done too much with that. A little bit. Galacticraft. I've started that. Particle physics was crashing. With the next version, I'll try it again. OpenComputers. I've now done some of that. And immersive engineering. Again, I have to wait for the next version of the mod pack, which adds that. Oh, well, it looks like we're way over time. I'm going to have to separate all the Galacticraft stuff out to a separate episode, which I had actually already started recording before I went back to edit this one and saw this one was overdone. So I'm going to move the Galacticraft from the first into the second, have the second one be all Galacticraft. Oh, yeah. I definitely should edit before I start filming more. So yeah, this is Nonsanity. Signing out. Be Galacticraft next time. Take care. Be good. And see you next time.